lightweight K-Cup star in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OpenFed Gaming. You're listening to the OpenFed. We are driving a 2015 Honda S660. We're driving it in a lightweight K-Cup race and we're driving on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Now we're doing one lap. One lap is all we're going to need. We started 16th of 16 cars and we started with a rolling start. Now this lap's going to take a little while, but we do have 15 cars to pass and they are spread out across the track. And there's not a lot of places to pass, as you can see, because it goes back and forth and back and forth. A couple of little straight sections where we do have the opportunity, if we're close enough to somebody, because our car is not much faster than the rest of them. Now on the straight stretches we do okay at the back of the pack because they're a little bit slower, but once we get closer to the middle and the front of the cars, you know, the leaders, we have a tough time overtaking them on the straight stretches, and they could even catch us and pass us. And the only way we're going to combat that is by passing them in the corners and getting a little bit of a buffer space between them and us. That's the plan. It's a pretty simplistic, easy plan, but that's okay. As we're ripping along, especially in straight sections like this, we try and take as many as we can, because when the opportunity presents itself, that's what you got to do. Now this is a track that I love to hate. I mean, it's a great track, when you're in the front and everybody's chasing you, but if you're in the middle or the back of the pack, you have a heck of a time, because as you can see, you really have to battle and fight to try and get by some of these guys. But that's okay now, because that's part of the game. That's the race. And the fun and cool stuff is like when they block you out like that, to try and find a way to get around them. Because you got to remember, when they're blocking you out, and if it takes you 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute to get by them, the cars that are in the front that are leading are only going to get that further ahead of you. So you got to take this type of race and you got to run it at a speed where you're passing cars and you really can't slow down. You got to keep going at that speed to continually pass cars. But every once in a while you get up behind, I think this is one of those Honda one makes. You get up behind one of these here guys and the track just doesn't want to cooperate with you. It goes back and forth, and when it straightens out he zips away. You just have a heck of a time. So you start to get a little worried and anxious that maybe you're not going to make it. But you got to remember one thing, if he's going too fast for you and he's doing a pretty good clip, he's also getting closer to the front, so it's not such a big deal as long as you're going at a good clip. But if he is blocking you out and he's going fairly slow, then you got problems. You got to get by him and you got to get moving, because every time when you get by a guy that goes slow like that, you catch up to another one that's like that. Now this guy is just slowing you down too much. You can't cut him on the inside because he moves in front of you. You can't cut him on the outside because you don't have quite enough power to get by him. And then when you get to the straight sections like this, he zips away on you. It's just maddening. But you got to keep fighting it until you finally get around him like this, and then you can put him behind you. You've battled with him long enough, and now he's gone. And oh great, then it starts to rain. Like we don't have enough to worry about, now we got to worry about the traction and not slipping around the corners if it's too wet out. So we got to keep an eye on that. But the elements are there for the other guys too. We're not the only ones driving in the rain. The other guys, these guys in front of me, got to watch out that they don't spin out the corners too. In the meantime, we're going to try and take a few liberties and get by them because of the weather, because we want to get to the front of the pack. And I believe we're about halfway, not quite halfway through the lap, and we're probably about the same amount of cars behind us. We probably passed about 8 or 9 cars. I'm famous for not paying attention to how many vehicles I've passed because I'm too deeply immersed in trying to drive a clean race, and I forget the count or I lose count. But that's okay, because as we're coming along here, we are still moving up in position, getting closer to the front. And I do believe, I think there's about 4, maybe 5 more cars in front of us. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. 4 or 5, we're over halfway through the race now. And we've got 2 cars in front of us here in the rain that we're having a tough time catching up to them. Like I said, some of these guys here at the front of the pack, they go as fast as you do. So if they're as fast as you are, then you're going to have to find a different way to get by them, which is usually the corners. And the inside track on a corner is the best. But you see, you would get out of the corner and they're not really zipping away from you very fast, but you can't get by them. So you're stuck in behind them, and you can see one car in front of them, a little white one. So we know the best we could be is 4th place, but I believe there's another car in front of that white one yet. So we still got a little ways to go. And the one thing you got to remember with the, oh, here we go. At least we finally get that one, but we're battling him too because he isn't going to let us go. He doesn't want us to pass. He keeps sneaking up beside us like right there. But we're not going to give up. Now this particular track in this race, near the end, there's a long straight section. So if you are driving beside one of these guys at the straight section, you're going to lose the race because you can't beat them on the straight. They're just, these front guys are just a little bit too fast, and they only slow down for the corners. So before we get to that straight section, we have to pass all the cars and put a little bit of a buffer in between us. See, now, I thought there was one more car in front, and there he is, the blue one. Now, I believe that he is the lead car. So with 3/4 of the lap gone, we don't have a lot of time left, and that straight section's still coming. We got to get in front of this guy and get a little bit of a buffer. Okay, so we took him out of that corner pretty quick, pretty easy, and now we got to get moving. And we got to keep an eye on our rearview mirror, something that the Opafed doesn't always remember to do, because when we get to that straight section, you'll see that we lose ground as he's starting to catch us. So we got to get there, put the pedal to the metal, and hope that we can stay in front, battle them off. At least the rain has stopped. The sun is coming out. The graphics on this game are absolutely fantastic. This is a cool little car to drive. I'm really surprised at how good it's sticking to the road, even with the rain coming down and with the track still being wet. We're going to push it a little bit because we want to get that buffer between the guy behind us and us. I can still see him in the rearview mirror. So if I can still see him, he's too close, because that means he's only going to be about 3 or 4 seconds behind you, and that's still too close. Now the straight section's coming up here, and you'll see what I mean when we get to it. Boy, I tell you, when you're ripping through this track like this, really use the whole width of the track. Go from side to side to get the optimum route and to get the best speed going. Because like I said, it's very beneficial, and it's very important to get that buffer between. Because I've lost this race before when I wasn't far enough ahead, and that guy behind you comes ripping by you. Here's the straight section. Now, once the straight section ends, there's only just a couple of little turns, and that's the end of the race. And if you keep an eye on that rear view mirror, we're going to pump this up now. Through those corners, you could only do about 120 to 140, but now we're going to pump it up to about 180. It's amazing that this little car will go that fast. Just absolutely amazing. But I can see that blue car in the rear view mirror, and he is getting closer. It's a good thing that the track is almost over. The lap is almost done, and we're almost at the finish line. What an awesome race from a track that Wasn't really my favorite. I still enjoyed this immensely. I hope you did too. Hope to see you back here again at OpenFed Gaming real soon. And in the meantime, you keep on racing. You've been driving and racing, riding shotgun with the OpenFed.